Like people like to talk about this stuff like it's like, oh, you're being a baby, you're being a girl. It's like, no. This stuff is the hardest stuff you'll maybe ever do. So until we have pure honesty, we're not going to get so far on our healing journey. And unfortunately, this is just kind of a truth that I've come across. And the more honest I get with myself, the more real that I get with myself, the more that I'm presented what exactly I need to work on in my life. And when I work on those things, or when we work on those things, uh, good things come. We're cleansing, right? We're getting these parts of ourselves out. But it doesn't come without this radical honesty. This in itself is a massive healing force. This in itself, just doing this practice, can bring you to places within yourself that you haven't been in a long time, and that we need to visit. We need to visit these places of pure truth, pure reality within ourselves. And when we get the opportunity to go there, we often encounter healing in some kind of way. You know, we might cry, or we might laugh, we might break down, we might just fall to the ground. Right? There's so many things that could happen. There's big realizations, big moments that can occur once we do this. So I want to give an exercise to do, and I highly recommend that soon after you watch this video, if this is something that you think you need to do, to go do it, and make sure you're in the right place to go do it, because it's deep. So try this out. Take a walk. Go to a place you like. Somewhere outside, somewhere beautiful, or if it's not beautiful, just somewhere in nature. You know, I don't know how that couldn't be beautiful, but I'm sure there's some spots out there. And ideally, a little secluded, you know, not like, Central Park in New York City. Go somewhere where you can, you're going to end up being alone at some point. Take this walk. Go a bit on this walk. Let your endorphins start to kick in. Maybe a few miles, And at a certain point along this walk, when you find a spot that's welcoming, sit on down. First, if you want, just be there. Just see it and be with it and be present. And then start to talk out loud. And you're going to start talking about places in your life that you haven't been honest with yourself. And you're going to get as real with yourself as you can. You're going to do some really, really deep reflecting. And it's going to be on all of the ways that you're messing up right now in your life. Or all of the ways that you're out of integrity, that you want to be doing something this way, but you're just not sticking to your word. You're not sticking to what you really want deeply inside. And then there's all the ways that you're hurting yourself somehow, right? And that can be being out of integrity, but it could also be addictions, right? It could be not doing the things you need to do to push yourself in a positive direction. All of the ways that you are actively working against yourself. And then you're going to look at and talk about all of the ways that you're hurting others right now, or all of the ways that you have hurt others in the past. Now, this process is not going to be easy. It's not It's not going to come about incredibly naturally. But the encouragement is to just start speaking. Start speaking out loud. And if you have to, it can be a whisper. It doesn't need to, you don't have to be shouting it to the world. It can just be a little whisper to yourself, like, okay, this is where I'm at, and I don't feel well. And I don't feel well because I just keep drinking. And I don't know why I'm doing it, right? Okay, example. And just keep talking. The way that I'm talking on this video right now, just keep talking. Like, if you find yourself starting to stumble and starting to think, just blurt out what's next. And it might be something stupid. Just like me, just like the way I say stupid things on these videos. But just say it. And what you're going to find is that if you keep going, you're going to uncover layers and layers of more honesty. And you're going to get to places within yourself that you haven't been in a long time. And here's my challenge, is that you go as deep as possible. You talk about the things that you've never told anyone, and that you've probably vowed to never tell anyone, to never say out loud. Go into those places. Go to the places that have scared the shit out of you your whole life. Do it. It's just you. It's just you. You're not telling anyone else about it. You're not putting this on video. This is just a conversation with yourself, with nature. And as this conversation continues, allow it to flow. Allow it to access a deeper part of yourself than you normally allow. Now, this is just an exercise. But let's say you do the exercise and you're not able to get so deep, right? That's okay. You've never done this. Maybe you have, I don't know, but let's just say you've never done this. This is a practice. Honesty, this is a practice. So what you're doing is you're practicing, and then you're going to be presented more opportunities in life to do this again. And you're going to look for opportunities to do this. And the more opportunities that you take, the deeper it's going to get. The power in this is immense, because this is at the root of a lot of the things we struggle with. Like if you have depression or anxiety, right? It's like the roots of that depression and anxiety are in your honesty. You have to speak these things out loud. There's things that you know intuitively, innately, that you're not allowing to move. And if we can just get to a place where we let it flow, we're gonna uncover things about ourselves. So it's a learning process. That things are gonna come out that we're like, whoa, I didn't know that was in there, right? And you know, as I said before, there's things you did know, but you just never said it out loud. And that in itself is like, it can be many things. It could be relieving. It could be gut-wrenching. It can make you just bawl, you know? But these things, they gotta come out in order to reveal our process to us of like how we're gonna improve, right? We have to know what we need to do to improve. So this radical honesty it's honestly just, it's such a deep spiritual practice. It's such a deep practice within ourselves. And if you think about, like, most people have never done it. Why? Because it's hard. It's not because it's like wussy stuff or like, right? Like people like to talk about this stuff like it's like, oh, you're being a baby, or you're being a girl. It's like, no. This stuff is the hardest stuff you'll maybe ever do. So take that with like like listen to what I just said and be easy on yourself in the process. Let it take time. Let it take time, but just work on this honesty, and you're going to find more and more in your life getting revealed, and it should be a positive. In the long run, it should be a positive thing. I will admit, as I said before, it's hard. It's so hard, but you got people with you. You got people walking this path with you, and if you need to, reach out, leave a comment. Maybe someday I'll have a way to contact me on this channel, but right now no one's watching, so. But yeah, I mean, you got people walking this path with you, and there's people who've been walking this path for their whole lives, right? Most of their lives. And if you keep going, you'll find these people more and more and more, okay? So you got some good juju going right now. Try this out if you're feeling ready, and let me know how it goes.